Hello and welcome on Stocks Advisor channel. Today we will talk about Essex Property Trust traded at New York Stock Exchange, ticker name ESS. Well, Essex Property, we did analysis recently and we were actually discussing possible average down approaches in this area, so if the price would go lower. But what happened here is actually after reaching the top of the previous wave somewhere at about 8th of November, the price action, instead of going for correction, really did show very nice move. So it was, although delayed magic cross up, but it still worked strongly, and then the price really opened with a jump in 9th of November, and we really did from 224 level till almost 275, incredible jump, especially for such a huge company with big market capitalization, strongly going overbought in RSI level. And then this candle is interesting here because it tells a lot. It was not a full white candle, it was a candle with enormously big upward shadow, so creating actually bearish effect here. And indeed that's happened. So we see the V formation here, classical V formation, when the price went down during 3 days later on. And now we see the last 4 trading sessions ago, the price actually stopped on a previously also seen a support line, the old support line, but it worked here in this case, and this is the line that was formed actually in June, but it still worked very well. And this is nice, meaning that there is a long history or long actually support lines, let's say, availability, which is good for companies of this type. And actually this is what happens for big companies, so all the support lines still hold because a lot of volumes were traded there. And that's what we see now. So we're sitting in the support line. We were sitting 4 days ago, let's call it S1. And then what happened, we started to make so-called V formation, so the price went down from 9th of October all the way, and then we see now that it did recover. But, and this is very interesting, so last 2 trading sessions we see this interesting combination of candles, and let's look at them more carefully, closely. So this is actually a combination of the dark candle, which is more like bullish, but it's on the top, so it works. So candle itself has a lower shadow, bigger, so it's more like momentarily bullish, but it's on the top of the V of the momentum trend, so it works as temporarily evening star. But then next one is actually a red cross, so it's bodiless, so without body candle, and then it's just below and it is like this. So it's actually like plus minus or up down candle here you see, and on being on the top of the current momentum movement, of price movement, usually it's kind of recharge indicator. And this recharge indicator could mean that although the price will go a little bit lower, but we can have another big spike upwards. So we might open a bit lower, for example, tomorrow, or we can trade between the current level and S1, and then we can do still recharge. And the level of this recharge or jump could be, it could be any, could be very high, very low. It's really unpredictable for these kind of momentums. But if you just take it, let's say, without too many emotions, the previous level and actually this one, it shouldn't go higher than 275, so this would be the absolute top. Well, it shouldn't go, technically speaking, of course it can, but again, this is really a momentum trade, so it's really a waving volatility, so it's possible to take this play, but it's quite risky because also the price could go further down without holding. Although the last 2 moments when we sit at S1, actually that were 4 trading sessions ago and 6-7 trading sessions ago, speaks that S1 is quite stable level, so it is possible to make this recharge zigzagging play here if you want. But again, be careful, don't put all portfolio there, just maybe with 1 to 4 average down possibility. So play with 1 and keep 4 for average down. And in case this will not work, so it will be fake signaling for zigzagging jump and the price will fade further down, then of course you can use the remaining part for average down here, and then the first support, the really solid support where you can do it, will be actually at this level, which is the top of the previous wave ending, so which took place about 8th of November, and the time moving average 200, this red line, will be also in that vicinity. So having said that, the first circle to enter for a quick zigzagging would be here, and then the average down would be quite low, and then should this be really depletion of the price and complete neglection of this upwards move, then of course in the vicinity here would be, let's say, anything below this level would be another buy, and then let's call the lines here, it would be then S2 and S3. So anything below, in the middle of S2 would be first average down, anything below S3 will be second average down, but most probably this that we discussed here, this situation will work and we will have a zigzagging jump. So with this said, you can try to play, but again, be very careful with average down and with how much you put in your portfolio. So it's advised strategy 1, 2, 2, meaning that you buy with 1 portion and then you keep extra 4 portions to average down 2 times. This is usually a bit risky play. We not always advise it, but it's quite strong support here 2 times on the level S1, so it's possible to do, but still significant portion should be kept for average down. Another fact that says that this might happen is actually moving averages 20 and 50. You can see here they are going upwards really steadily up, so it's something like this and like that, meaning that its first and second derivatives are actually positive, meaning that it's going up with acceleration. And this is important. Once the second derivative of moving average 20 will start going closer to 0, meaning that it will start bending like this would be the end of the game. It will be immediate indicator to stop, but for now it's still on this part, so it's going up and it's straight, meaning that we can make actually a quite nice zigzagging play here, which could be very spiky, but it could be interesting. So indeed, ESS in this sense showing very interesting behavior, not expected previously. As we discussed in previous video, it was more expected to go below to dark box and average down, but now it's going up and reconfirming S1 as a new support line, so the zigzagging can be played here for Essex Property Trust. Overall, the company, of course, is showing very well, and here we need to understand it's not only the fact that they did show Q3 report slightly beating the expectation, but also that you can see overall properties business is kind of starting to recover, though the COVID and quarantine measures are imposed, but prices going up, new buildings are starting to be built, so there is very positive expectation for future, and this is the major driver for Essex, because it's seen that second wave did not really lock down everything hardly like it was in the first wave, and in that sense all these kind of companies that are working in real estate, they are boosting or starting to boost momentarily, and that's, you can see also Essex with having nice Q3 report is now again on boost. And though the expectation for Q4 is still the same or even a little bit lower than Q3, in that sense there is no huge expectation to grow for a company, but if it shows the good expectation, if it will show the good growth, which is very expected, since, as I just mentioned, real estate companies and building companies are booming, the prices are booming, so once the Q4 report will come for the stock in action, it might be a strong beat and could be very interesting play here. But from price point of view, we would still need to see where the price will be itself, because if it goes too high, if it goes above the level R1, this red line, then the price may be, let's say, overestimated according to performance of the company. But still we will need to look at this when the Q4 before reports will come. So we'll definitely keep an eye on Essex Property Trust for future and see what we can do. For the moment, it's the zigzagging play advised, but again, very cautious, keeping significant amount for average down in case the price goes further. You may be noticed in our channel, there are many times that although it's predicted average down behavior with defense, price goes instead upwards. Yes, this is true. We might have sometimes, let's say, false positive predictions, but we never have, let's say, false or let's say truly negative. So we therefore we can have some false positive expectations, but we never have a truly negatives, meaning that you can lose opportunity, just overlook the video. It might be useless, but when it works well. And usually we never let's say, or minimally propose any actions where you can lose a lot of money. In that sense, we try to keep the safety margins high, and this is the reason, for example, it was discussed last time, working in a black box rather than expecting the jump, because this is purely non-technical behavior here. But now zigzagging is possible, so we advise it, again, being very cautious and keeping some funds for possible average down approach. On that, this is all for Essex Property Trust in this episode. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell if you didn't do so before. This way you will not miss our new videos and new interesting discussions for US-based stocks.